Today I'm in Rosemead, California. This is a suburb of the San Gabriel Valley, which is a part of Los Angeles, and it's kind of hidden. It's not a lot of people know about it, and so I wanted to show you a little bit more about it. At the same time, take care of some errands, do my laundry, get some bomb-ass Vietnamese breakfast, which I'll show you in a second, and also talk about the economy, whether or not we're in a recession, how to survive a recession, all those things. So just stay tuned. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that, I'll just sit down right here and just keep talking. Oh my God. Sorry, you guys, the lighting is horrible here. Trust me, I look way better in real life than in this video, okay? I promise you guys. All right, it is currently November 2025. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in LA. Man, from how I see things, the economy ain't looking that good. You know, we all know about the government shutdown, right? The government shutdown, people are not getting their food stamps, their SNAP benefits. SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, I think. It's basically food stamps. And I personally know a lot of people that are, let me cross the street here, hold on. Personally know a lot of people that are affected by this. They were getting a couple $100s a month in food stamps, but now they ain't getting nothing. So it's getting hard out here, you know? Things just seem like things are tightening up. It's getting harder and harder just to survive. We all know about the layoffs too. I think Amazon laid off, what was it, 14,000 people. Target laid off people. Facebook laid off people. It's just one of those times, man, where we gotta buckle down. And I noticed personally in my own business, it is a little bit harder. If you don't know, I'm an orthodontist. I do braces. I do braces and aligners, and it is much harder, I feel. People are much more kind of like saving and tight with their money, at least from just personal experience. But you know what? In this video, I wanted to talk about how to make the most out of this situation and come out even ahead, possibly. Walking up on this Vietnamese noodle shop here that I really like. Let me show you guys. Pho Ga Bach Neat. There it is. This is a Vietnamese food. Pho is, you know, noodle soup, and then Ga means kind of chicken. So it's chicken noodle soup, pretty much. So this is really good. Let me walk you in here, okay? Oh my. Sorry, I didn't know it was closed. It opens at 9:30. It's 8:48 right now, but no worries. We can still talk about what I want to talk about in this video. How to survive a recession. Number one, most importantly, keep your job, okay? You must keep your job. This is extremely important. To survive in this high inflation economy where everything costs through the roof, you know, just gas, groceries, everyday living, man, rent, just everyday supplies, it costs so much money. And if you're not having that steady income coming in every 2 weeks, man, I think it's gonna be pretty hard. You have to keep your job, and if possible, try to find some extra work, like some side gigs on the side. If you can make maybe a couple $100s more a month, that goes a long, long way. Imagine that. Just having, I don't know, an extra 200, 300 bucks, that will help. That will make a big, big difference. You never wanna be in this situation where you got to dip into your savings, or you got to sell some investments in a time of economic recession, because you want your investments to just keep growing. You want to always have that buffer. So I know it's hard, man, but like if you can, just try to pick up some extra shifts or try to get a side gig, whatever the case is. Check this out. One great thing about living in California, and Southern California in particular, is this, man. In case you don't know, this is In-N-Out. This is the best cheeseburgers known to mankind. Let me show you the menu. Yep. Look at that. Still reasonable in price. Double is what I usually get. Man. That's one of the biggest perks of living in LA. Hi. And guess what? It's right across the street from Rosemead High School. So it's an amazing location. I'm sure that after, let me see if I can cross this road here. Oh. Let me wait for the next light. After school, I'm sure all these little kiddos, all these high schoolers get their doubles or their animal fries, their cheeseburgers. I mean, I wonder how much In-N-Out makes here, man. It looks, trust me, it looks like it's just a shack, and it is, you know, honestly, like it's just a little standalone building here. But man, there's always a line out the door. It's just early in the morning right now. So, you know, I saw, you know, she's still prepping and they're not open yet. But trust me, lunchtime, dinner time, when it's time to eat, there's a line down this road, man. There's a whole line down this whole road right here, just waiting to get those burgers. So, yep. Just walking around the neighborhood here. There's a lot of single family homes. Rosemead was, this whole area, the San Gabriel Valley, is pretty hidden compared to other parts of LA. You know, when you think of LA, you think of Hollywood, you think of, you know, Disneyland, or at least I think that's what people think of. But here in the San Gabriel Valley, which is east of downtown Los Angeles, a lot of people live here, man. It's a whole mix. It's like a melting pot of different ethnicities. We got Asian, Hispanic. Here in the city of Rosemead, there's a lot of Asian people. This is like a hub for very good Asian restaurants, Asian food, Asian culture. Alongside with that, there's a lot of Hispanic food as well. Mexican food, tacos, burritos. It's really delicious, man. This is where I grew up in the San Gabriel Valley. Yeah, I just wanted to show you a little bit about my hood. The next part of surviving a recession is to focus on what you can control. So obviously we can't control anything about the government shutdown. We can't control what, you know, inflation, what the Federal Reserve does, what Chairman Jerome Powell does, anything like that. But what you can control is things like your personal savings, your personal spending. You gotta think about what in your life can control you, what you can control. So, man, I'm sorry to say, but you might not be able to eat out every day. You might have to make some food, meal prep, cut down a little bit on your spending. Obviously, if you can increase your income and decrease your spending, that absolutely helps give you that little buffer, that little extra cushion, that extra money to survive this high inflationary economy that we're in. Which brings me to the next thing. The next topic is staying invested. I'll tell you a little story. During the pandemic, we all know that the stock market just crashed. Well, I still vividly remember it. It was March 2020, and I never experienced something like that in my life. I was scared. I've never, on paper, lost that much money in my life before. every day it just seemed like bad news after bad news. You turned on the TV, you turned on YouTube, any social media, and it was just chart after chart of, you know, how many coronavirus cases were coming out, how much, you know, how far the stock market had dropped. And it took, honestly, a lot for me to just stay still, pretty much. It's very uncomfortable. Like, if you never experienced something like that, I've never experienced something like that fast, but you've got to just stay invested if you can. Do not panic. You cannot sell. Do not do things out of fear. And I distinctly remember watching like YouTube videos during that time where people were bailing out, man. People were like, you know, selling their stocks, selling their investments. And obviously that was just, I mean, it's understandable. It's completely like human nature. You want to seek safety in such a crisis because you want to protect your money. You know, you don't want to expose your money. You don't want to put your money in harm's way during those times. But man, you're gonna miss the rebound. You're gonna miss the opportunity that's right over the mountain, you know. And I gotta be honest, like it was not easy. Like at the bottom of that market in March 2020, I was paralyzed with fear. I'm not gonna lie. I remember just being like curled up in a fetal position in my bed, just looking at, you know, my phone, checking the stocks, just freaking out, flipping out. But thank God I didn't sell. And I actually invested what little I had at the time into the stock market to see if I could catch the rebound. And my God, did it rebound. Like, it was the fastest recovery, or the fastest recovery from a recession in, I don't know, you can check Google, but in a long time, in my lifetime for sure. And from that experience, that taught me to stay still during a recession. It's easier said than done. Easy to say, oh, you know, we're not gonna sell, we're not gonna panic, we're just gonna continue buying stocks. But when it comes time and it's your account that's on the line and it's your money, believe me, it's not that easy, okay? When the time comes and we're in this recession where your accounts are going down, your brokerage accounts are going down, stay still. This is one of the key kind of characteristics of being a good investor, is basically not allowing fear to control you. Logically, it makes sense, right? Like when stocks are down, it's cheaper to buy, and so you should be buying. But emotionally, trust me, like I'm just thinking about that time in 2020, it's not that easy, okay? So stay invested if you can. That brings me to my next topic of discussion, which is dollar cost averaging. This is a term that a lot of financiers use, a lot of finance people use. Basically, it just means dollar cost averaging means investing small amounts of money regularly, no matter what. And study after study has shown that dollar cost averaging is what works the best when it comes to investments. Don't care about what the stock market does or how the economy is doing or what's on the news right now. It takes a lot of discipline to just keep investing and investing no matter what. But ironically, and it seems kind of dumb to be honest, right? Like you hear all this bad news left and right, and yet you're still just constantly investing. But that is the best way. That is nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. Nobody can predict the future. So the best way is just to ride all the ups and downs. Actually, when stocks are down, you'll be able to buy more stocks for the same price, right? So you have to think about it that way. It's one of those life lessons. Just never stop investing. Just constantly dollar cost average into the market, man. You'll do well that way. You know, the funny thing is, all these YouTubers, I watch a lot of like finance videos and stuff like that. They give good advice, you know, invest in the stock market, dollar cost average, invest regularly, live below your means. But at the end of their videos, they always try to sell you some kind of course or something, like some type of book or ebook or whatever that they have. And it makes me wonder, did they get their money by doing what they said, or did they get their money by pushing these courses? Look, like for me, I have enough things going on. I'm not trying to sell you a course. This is just information for you, okay? Like, I have no motivation. I have nothing. And I practice what I preach. You know, this is exactly what I do. It's made me a handsome amount of money, you know? Yeah, just thinking about some of those YouTubers, they give good advice. Investing regularly, dollar cost averaging is all very good advice. But secretly, I wonder if they do that themselves, you know? Because if they don't, then it would be actually a little bit hypocritical. They're saying do this, but they don't do it themselves. I'm telling you right now, this is exactly what I do. So this is coming from the source, okay? I'm gonna head back to the laundry mat to check up on our clothes to see if they're ready to put in the washer, in the dryer, sorry. Rosemead High School. And back there was that In-N-Out. And here's that laundromat that we were in just a couple minutes ago. The other thing I wanted to talk about is during times of economic uncertainty, recession, whatever you want to call it, you got to take care of your mental health too, all right? Like, you got to exercise, you got to sleep enough, you got to eat right, because, and I've learned this the hard way too. Let me cross this road here. Your health is number one. You've got to be in good shape to be able to fight every day. That's one thing about me. The first thing I do every morning is try to head out to the gym. Planet Fitness is the usual go-to for me. So that's the other thing, man. Don't neglect your health. Take good care of yourself. Headed back here to the laundromat. Let's see what's going on here. All right, let's see if our clothes are ready. Aha, 6 minutes left. Perfect. All right, we got our clothes loaded into the dryer, and while that's going, let's walk over to that Vietnamese pho shop that's right across the street. Let's get some breakfast. The strangest thing about a recession is that you don't know that you're in a recession until probably a couple years after. You know, I've been through in my life several of them. Let me think about them. You guys remember the 2000 .com crash? I was in high school at the time, so you know, I was still just a student, a kid. I didn't have the ability to take advantage of that, but I vividly remember it. Things were crashing, stocks were dropping, people were losing millions of dollars overnight. Before that, if you could make any company and then just attach the words .com to it, the value of your company would just explode overnight. Obviously, that was not sustainable, and that's not real value. And so, yeah, it was no wonder that it was a bubble and it burst. And so that was the first one that I can definitely recall. It's the .com 2000 bubble that led to the recession. And the other one, we're almost here. This restaurant back again. They're open right now. Let's see. Usually, can I get this one? The pho ga, just a small today.
Phở gà.
Yeah, foie small.
Small.
Yeah, thank you. Anyways, like I was saying, the first recession or crash that I can think of in my life was that dot-com crash. And I wasn't affected by it because, you know, at the time I was still just a kid. But I vividly remember it. And I know a lot of people lost millions of dollars during that crash. The other one was a doozy. That was the next one was a monster of a crash, which was the 2008 financial crisis. In case you guys don't know or don't remember, that was caused by over leveraging. So people borrowing way too much, like over leveraging in terms of buying stocks, buying property, like buying houses, buying real estate. People used to think that like housing prices would never go down, and so they would just take out bigger and bigger loans to continuously buy more and more properties. And for a while, for many years, that was great until it didn't keep going up. It went down actually, it crashed. And then all these loan payments were due and nobody could pay them anymore. And so it led to this downward spiral. And that one hurt. That one was a gigantic earthquake-like recession. I remember like, you know, let's say in a block of houses, there's 10 houses, 4 of them would have like foreclosure signs on them. It was ridiculous. Foreclosures, by the way, it's when you can't make the mortgage payments on your house anymore and the bank takes it back from you. And they try to sell the house themselves. And so that's what happens. A foreclosure happens when you basically lose the house. People lost their houses, man. They lost their jobs. They lost their 401ks. The old joke was your 401k became a 201k, you know, because it got cut in half, right? But no, seriously, like that one hurt a ton of people, and some people still have never recovered from it. They still have the scars, like the emotional scars from that. People losing their jobs, losing everything. Oh, here comes the food. Hold on, let me show you. Dude, this is the best pho ga in LA. So this is like chicken noodle soup. I usually like to squeeze a little lemon in there. Put some black pepper on too. But check this out, man. It's silky smooth noodles. Really, really tender chicken. Awesome broth too, like really flavorful broth. This is a great restaurant. First thing is, just try out the soup. Wow, damn. Great flavor. Next thing is, take a slurp of the noodles. Next thing, drink some more of the broth. Drink another broth. Then get some more of this tender chicken. Let me see. Let me show you. That is so good. The great thing about living in LA is that it's such a melting pot. You know, all kinds of cultures, cuisines, races, ethnicities. I love it, man. Like, such diversity, such great communities. A lot of immigrants just trying to come over here, make a living, make a better life for themselves. And, you know, these type of small businesses are the type of businesses that I really love to support. Anyways, I'm gonna try to finish the rest of these noodles and then we'll talk some more about the economy, okay? Just cash, right?
Cash.
Yeah. 15? Okay. That is 16. Okay, thank you so much, okay? Yeah. Man, that was awesome. Back to what I was talking about the recession. Yeah, the 2008 recession was a monster of a recession. It's affected people. And then the next one, I would say, that was a huge one, was obviously COVID back in 2020. So that one was out of the blue as well, obviously. That one nobody saw coming. That one was the most stressful month of my life personally, because by then, you know, I was already an adult and I already had assets, you know, stuff like that. And I could see, like, in real time, my stocks and all my assets going down. The strange thing about, well, the thing about that recession was that it was the most short-lived one. It was the fastest one in history, I think. It was like a V, you know, it went down and then it rebounded up right away as the government kind of bailed us out with all that stimulus money and lowering the interest rates and all those things. It definitely caused a spike in people just piling in terms of stocks, in terms of real estate, and it actually, in my opinion, overheated the market, but it goes to show you. So I've been through the dot-com, the 2008 financial crisis, and the 2020 pandemic. All three of them were vastly different. Each one had its own flavor in terms of what caused it, how long it lasted for, and how long it took to recover. All this to say that the strategy to survive all those things was still the same thing. It's being consistent. It's basically not panicking, not letting fear take over, and just getting out of the market completely, selling all your investments. That is not the way to go. And so who knows what is in store for us right now, or in the coming months, or in the future. But I guarantee you, sooner or later, if we're not already in one, there will be another recession. And we can't help ourselves, you know. It's just our nature. It's just a cycle. But the only thing is what you do about it. So let me cross the street here. Try not to get run over. The only thing is what you do about during the time of a recession. You know, we got this, man. I am your peer when it comes to these kinds of things. I'm standing right beside you guys. I want you guys everybody to do very well. Coming back to the laundromat yet again to check up on our clothes to see if they're out of the dryer yet. But just give us 1 second, okay? Here we are. Oh, still looks like we got about 7 minutes left. I saw a donut shop right next door, and I was interested in getting one of those green juices, those smoothies. So let's see if they have them, okay? Yep. So Rosemead donuts, coffee and more. Just making our green juice right there. And yeah, that's what I love about LA, man. It's just full of immigrants with maybe a small dream. You know, that laundromat next door, that pho shop next door, this donut shop next door, and then right here, all small businesses, you know. People just saved up their own money, opened up their own shop, and started making money, started making their own business. That is the American dream, and it just makes me so happy. Everybody has their own story. That's why America is truly one of the greatest countries of all. Oh, thank you, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Yep. Yeah, look at that. Very healthy, refreshing, highly recommended. All right, back at the laundromat. My clothes came out of the dryer. I'm gonna start folding them while I drink my green smoothie and fold this pile of laundry. Just wanna close this episode by saying, hopefully you guys got some value. You guys caught a glimpse of life in the San Gabriel Valley, the SGV as we call it, Rosemead, California in particular. We talked a little bit about the economy, how to survive a recession. Just don't panic, stay still. And different kinds of recessions that I've been through. This YouTube thing is really fun to me. I love talking to you guys. I'll be finishing up folding these clothes, but in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks.